and must identify each individual.
I have now seen the bodies. We are starting with the identification process. That's very important to the relatives.
How long will it take, I asked.
I don't know.
You don't know how soon you can get the bodies back
really.
there?
And they must work while surrounded by the pro-Russian militia accused of shooting down the plane. The militia had promised to release the plane's black boxes seized Friday, but tonight the handover deadline came and went. But a full 4 days since the crash, wreckage still litters the countryside. People's bags appear to have been opened, and what clean-up there is basic.
With just a car and a bit of rope, they're trying to haul some wreckage out of the water.
They bring an old fire truck, then finally the only crane around. It's a torn section of wing.
Independent international investigators.
Amid international outrage, tonight the Malaysian Prime Minister says the rebels have agreed safe access to the site. But there are still tanks on the streets, making it far from clear when the investigation will truly begin.
Tonight, those black boxes have finally been handed over by the pro-Russian rebels. But today, here in Donetsk, there was sniper fire, yelling, chaos that greeted those international investigators arrived here this afternoon. Brian?
Keir Simmons back in Donetsk, Ukraine, starting us off tonight. Thanks. The U.S. says it has hard evidence now pointing the finger of blame at Russian-backed rebels, including satellite images of the Russian-made missile being launched from Russian separatist territory. In Washington today, President Obama confronted Vladimir Putin, challenging to stop Russian separatists from destroying evidence at the crash site.
Its direct influence over the separatists, Russia, and President Putin in particular, has direct responsibility to compel them to cooperate with the investigation. That is the least that they can do.
For his part, Putin finally broke his silence, saying international experts should be able to work safely at the crash site. But his propaganda machine continued to blame the Ukraine government in Kiev and the U.S., even saying a Ukrainian fighter jet was in the area when the Malaysian plane was shot down, something U.S. intelligence says is not true. And far from the crash scene tonight, let's remember the ongoing anguish of the families of the 298 people who perished on board. Husbands and wives, sons and daughters, a family of 5, including young children, scientists, students. Pictures of some of them now emerging, including a mother and son who were headed for vacation, who took and then posted a photo moments before takeoff. From the Netherlands to Malaysia to Australia, families are begging Vladimir Putin to send their loved ones home. We get our report tonight in Amsterdam.
17-year-old Elsemiek de Borst was an A student with dreams of becoming an architect and a love for adventure, marking all the places she'd been on a map in her room.
And I lost her in 1 second, shot from the sky. And I see all kinds of people there accusing each other.
Now Hans de Borst is a father without a daughter, the remains of his little girl trapped in a political tug-of-war.
And my child lies there in the field, and no one can reach her. Can I have my small piece of Elsemiek? A sock or a t-shirt or a ring?
Elsemiek was on MH17 with her mother, stepfather, and little brother, heading to a vacation in Malaysia. 5 days since the crash, and families are still waiting. Memorials are withering, and funerals are stalled.
You don't care about the politics, right? This is not a political thing for you.
I care about my daughter. She wanted to go start her life, and it's gone.
For now, all he can do is wait. Facebook, his only way to express his sorrow and frustration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Putin, leaders of the separatists or the Ukraine government, for murdering my loved and only child. She has been shot out of the sky. Regarding Elsemiek, father, whose life is ruined now.
Katie Tur, Amsterdam.
Now on to the